What's up,
How
everyone? Welcome back to House of Agendas. Kinsey, what's going on, man?
it's mad rainy. Like OD. Like there's some posts on Twitter, subways is flooding, streets is flooding. It's just bad. I don't know. It was such a switch because I could have swore like last week it was still hot. But yeah, it's this rain is OD.
Um, is it cold rain then?
Um to be honest, no, still in the 60s. It's just like
Oh,
so
okay.
it's just so gloomy.
Do you think it has anything to do with the Sun's poor shooting? Or not the Sun, the Liberty's poor shooting. Sorry.
That's a bad sign then, because 7:30 tonight, my heart I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
Yeah, no. Obviously the WNBA playoffs are going on. We've both been watching pretty intently. Liberty have really struggled shooting the ball from three, but we'll talk a little bit more WNBA later. Kinsey, let's talk about the biggest news in sports right now. Damian Lillard has been traded to the Milwaukee Bucks to create a really, really insane duo with him and Giannis.
Mhm.
Tell me your initial thoughts when you heard about the trade.
When I first heard it, I was excited because I don't know how much of this Dame, oh, I'm only gonna go there saga stuff was true, because you don't go from like this symbol of loyalty to like one of like the highest character guys to being borderline like a Kyrie Irving level diva. So I was just like, how much of this is actually true? And then I'm a hater, so like I have a lot of ops. So like when
Yeah.
when he wanted to go to Miami, I was like, yo, how do I root for Dame to get a ring and Dame to be clutch while also praying on the downfall of Jimmy Butler? So on that front, I was like, this is great. I don't have no beef with Giannis really.
Yeah.
So like Dame with Giannis, Dame can get a ring. Usually like I gauge in a lot of Kyrie Dame debates. So like when people say, oh well, does he have a ring? Now actually has like a great chance to get the ring. So I loved it. I loved it. And
Yeah.
with uh with Jonathan possibly not playing this year, with John Wall not on the team yet. Dame is my second favorite point guard easily. So
Mhm.
now it's nice to see, players you really like win.
Okay, so we get it from the Dame point of view. He gets traded to a really good team. I feel like this is a win for him overall in general. I know the news came out that he kind of walked back the trade, and then the Portland told him no. I mean, how do you feel about that? Because to me, once you request a trade, to me that means you want to leave.
Hmm.
And when you walk it back, why should the team just be like, "Oh, okay, the trade request never happened"? Like, how did you feel about that aspect?
Yeah, that was a bit weird because he kind of made it clear that like I wouldn't say like he didn't burn no bridges, but he made it clear like, oh
No.
yeah, I'm kind of done with the organization. I'm ready to move on. So for him to be like, oh well, since that trade isn't coming through, like, can I get my starting job back? So
Right.
that aspect was kind of weird.
I just like what do you can't just flip flop and expect the franchise to go with you every time. Like
Hmm.
it doesn't add up for me. I think Portland won the trade also. Like I thought they did a good job. They got Aiton, who's a solid center, to go with their young point guard. And then I think obviously Dame's in a fantastic spot. I feel like this was a win-win
Yeah.
for Portland and Dame. Um, it's just hard to find any faults with what happened and what the end product is unless you're a Miami Heat fan. And then you're going to find any little detail to try to hang yourself up on. But in the end, Dame won and the Portland won. They
Yeah.
didn't have to take it. They didn't have to take a suspect trade for Miami, and they built towards the future yesterday. Um, what did you think about Phoenix getting Nurkic? Because Nurkic is what a lot of people would call a liability on defense, and that's really all they need from a center is defense.
Yeah, that move was kind of weird, especially from the aspect of you might be meeting the Bucks in the finals now, and who's protecting the rim from Giannis now. So like I guess I think they also did it because it added some depth, and I guess that was their main issue. I guess they were like, yeah, we could, if we're just a league average defense, as long as we have depth, we'll be okay. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm probably a bit higher on Nurkic just than you, not on defense and just like an overall player.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was an okay move. I'm not really mad. It's not like DeAndre Ayton was prime DeAndre on defense anyway.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Okay. Does this make the Bucks the favorite to win the title in your opinion?
Favorite or co-favorite with the Nuggets. The only thing
Okay.
is like let's say like obviously like this applies for any team, but like if Dame were to get hurt with Drew gone and like we have like no idea like how Middleton will return, I don't know who in the world is their second best scorer if Dame were to like miss a few weeks or something.
Yeah, that's a good point. So they are a little lighter on depth now, but their
Yeah,
overall talent
yeah,
is pretty impressive. I
but
mean, your starting lineup is Dame, Middleton,
Dame, Middleton.
Giannis, Lopez, and then
Do they
their
still
shooting
have?
guard.
No, they don't have DiVincenzo no more. He's on the
Shooting
Warriors.
guard's going to be probably Malik Beasley for shooting.
That's good. Do they still have Connington or not?
I think so.
They
No, he
got.
might have got moved.
Oh,
I have to look at the final
yeah,
roster.
but it's a move they clearly needed because like at the end of that Miami game 5, the way they were playing hot potato with the ball in the clutch, that was embarrassing to be honest. So now
Yeah.
like you have somebody who's just gonna okay just give me the rock, I'll bring it home.
Okay, so going forward, name me your 5 top favorites for the NBA title going next year in the next year. Mine are Bucks, Nuggets, Suns, Celtics, Lakers.
I'll pretty much have the same. I have Bucks Sun. I'm not Bucks Suns. Bucks Nuggets 1 and 2. Third Boston. Fourth Phoenix, and fifth. I can't. I refuse to count them out. Golden State. Listen.
Why? Why? They've
Hey,
done nothing to get any better.
I'm just as long as Curry is still on this current level, I just can't count them out. And aren't they talking to Dwight? If they get Dwight, I'm moving them to second in the West clearly.
Why?
Because that's like literally their one weakness was like rim protection and a lob threat. If they get Dwight, they're
So
clear.
let me get this straight. You think bringing in a center who's spent his time in Taiwan because he can't get an NBA job anywhere else is going to make them a favorite? That's insane.
How many times like do we see? Oh well, they added JaVale McGee. That's rim protection and that. Dwight's way better than that. If they add Dwight,
how do you know he's way better than that? He can't get a job.
Dwight Howard not better than JaVale McGee.
How do you know? At this point, how do you know? What has Dwight Howard done in Taiwan that makes you think he's better than JaVale McGee right now?
Well, average like 55, 25, and 18. But the last time Dwight was in the league, he was I think it was the bubble season. He was still like guarding Jokic good. Okay,
you do realize that's been 3 years now, right? Like it's been a long time.
Look, it's Dwight. He can still do Dwight things.
What does that mean?
It's Dwight.
It's Dwight.
What? Okay, and also what option do they have? Kevon Looney, he's good. Their backup Dario Saric is the backup center. Dwight's way better than him as a backup center.
He's way better than who?
Than Dario Saric. I think that's their backup big.
How do you know? Like, what are you basing this off of?
We talk like Dwight can't play.
I mean, there's a reason he hasn't been playing.
Politics. Same reason Boogie and Wall not here.
The last time Dwight played in the NBA, he averaged 16 minutes a game, 6 points, 6 rebounds.
So 6 and 6 with good defense. That don't help Golden State?
For 16 minutes? No.
That's what they need. Looney could play the other 30. You sleep on him, Dwight.
There's no way that makes them the second favorite in the West. There's just no. That's not even comprehensible. No.
If they had Dwight, they would have beat the Lakers. That's the only reason they lost was really because of paint, bro.
How does Dwight make them better than the Lakers?
Because they would have he could have guarded AD instead of Kevon Looney or Draymond Green.
What makes you think current Dwight Howard can guard Anthony Davis?
Because he plays D.
Like what are you like? What is the image in your head of Dwight? Like What uniform is he wearing in your image of his head?
Bro, the
Like,
last time he was here, he was nice.
for the Lakers?
Bro, how many times do
He
teams
was nice.
decide?
He was nice. You're telling me he was nice for the Lakers?
Yes, he was the primary Jokic defender. How many times do teams add, like when the Mavs a few years back added JaVale McGee? Oh, that gives them much needed rim protection. Dwight ain't the same archetype, but better.
The last time Dwight played in the playoffs was for Philly in 2020, and he averaged 12 minutes a game. He's just not even a threat.
Oh yeah, that's when they lost round 2 to Miami, right? Something like that.
And the year before that, when the Lakers won the ring, he averaged 15 minutes a game in the playoffs. He's not even a like that's
all they need is somebody to give Kevon Looney a break, because Looney he was killing these players, averaging like 15, 16 boards. All they need is somebody to give Looney a break, and Dwight Howard can do that. And he's a phenomenal screen setter. Stephen Clay coming off them screens, and then him and Chris Paul pick a roll. What? Chris Paul, Dwight pick a roll?
That's one of the crazier things you've said recently. You're taking a guy who's been stuck in Taiwan because he can't get on a bad team's roster. What are the politics against Dwight? Tell me the politics against Dwight.
That he's nice, but he don't want to like accept a lower role. So they're like, oh, we can only play the 8-9.
He clearly has accepted a lower role. He can't get 20 minutes in a playoff game.
There are a bunch of backup. Cody Zeller is still in the league. Dwight can play the league. It's politics.
What's the politics though?
It's just,
what did he do wrong?
Oh no, not politics in that aspect. Politics is like he probably wants a bit bigger role than what they're saying. Like they're probably saying, oh, some nights you only want to play like 5-6 minutes, and he's probably like, okay, I know I'm not Dwight, but I'm still good. I'm telling you, it's the same thing with like the Boogies and the Wolves. Like Cody Zeller was getting playoff minutes for Miami. Dwight not better than him? It was Cody and Tyler. It was one of the Zellers. Dwight not better?
Probably not.
The Wizards.
Because here's the thing: if he was better, he'd be on the roster helping them.
We give Taj Gibson minutes. Dwight better than Taj Gibson. It's probably just like, I'm telling you, man.
Is he crazy? Is he better?
This is Dwight Howard.
Is he better?
This is Dwight Howard.
What about that? Just saying it's Dwight Howard doesn't mean anything anymore. It's not 2010.
He's a lob threat. He's a great defender.
Every guy over 6'10" in the NBA is a lob threat. It's not like that's not like a skill that's like
Sabonis ain't no lob threat.
And Sabonis is 4 times the player Dwight is right now.
Not on defense.
You don't know that. You haven't seen him play in 2.5 years.
Even if he can't jump in a block shots as high, when you turn the corner off the pick and roll, you're still gonna say, "Oh snap, that's Dwight. Let me do something else."
Last time Dwight played in the playoffs, he averaged half a block.
That's good defense. All right, but how many shot deterrents did he have?
Not enough, because Philly only played 12 games in that playoff run.
It's Dwight Howard. When your bench unit has to guard a Chris Paul and Dwight pick and roll.
Okay. All right, well, that's a wild thing to say, that you think that the Warriors simply adding Dwight makes them the second best team in the West. It's crazy.
Who's your backup center? Robin Lopez? He guarded Dwight?
Yeah, probably.
You're buggy.
What?
You're buggy.
What offensive game is Dwight bringing to the NBA right now?
He bringing that double tap triangle, boom, lob.
Okay, that's really interesting. Let's move on. Anything else in the NBA you think is important right now before we get into really start hammering down on the NBA here in a couple weeks?
Well, oh yeah, James Harden was in the club saying he won't play for Daryl Morey, so I guess that's something.
James Harden I'm over it. I'm ready for the James Harden era to be over. I don't know. He just doesn't do it for me anymore. He's still a really talented basketball player, but like it's always just business for either side. Like, I want my money. It's a business. The NBA doesn't want to pay you. It's a business. I'm guessing he got promised a big contract, but after that playoff run, you can see why he didn't get that big contract. So it goes both ways, unfortunately. But James Harden, I'm just kind of over it. Send him somewhere. Just let him play by himself. Charlotte, maybe. Just let him be the star of Charlotte for a while. I don't know. It just doesn't work for me anymore. Let's jump over to something that's more exciting at the moment. WNBA playoffs, man. Liberty Suns 1-1. Aces up 2-0. Games are later tonight. What do you think, man? 1-1. The Suns have been playing their asses off against the Liberty. Bonner and Thomas have been really, really good.
Tiffany Hayes was baking on Tuesday.
I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, Lamar?
You see, I guess a fear of mine was that it's kind of like what happens to Golden State sometimes deep in playoff runs, especially pre-KD, is that pre-KD and post-KD is that when you're like a high assist team and like a motion heavy team in the playoffs, like if they pick you up high because the Mystics basically picked us up full court and the Suns are kind of meeting us at half court, like you could like disrupt that offense. And with like the Liberty are like a heavy offensive motion team, high assist numbers. So like when you disrupt that rhythm, the offense been looking shaky. Like we were one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the regular season, but like when we can't get into horns and like we can't do all this floppy and all this other motion, the offense looks very, very nasty. And granted, like thankfully they don't have a big that can contest John Cole. So like when we can get a post up and they don't bring a double, it does look good. And like when Stewart, her mid range at least is still good. I don't know where her 3-ball went.
She's struggling, man.
And like they have like a Rebecca Allen, which she has like probably like 4 or 5 inches on Inesco, so like it's hard for her to get the shot off. So like, yeah, the offense has been in the mud. Luckily, our defense has been there, but man, tonight at 7:30. It's gonna be tough.
Okay, so if you guys lose tonight, you think it's over?
No. If we lose tonight, that just means that we're going to win Game 5 on Tuesday because we're definitely winning on Sunday if we lose tonight. But we're going to win the next 2 games, so I'm not worried.
Interesting. Okay, let's look into the Aces. You thought potentially the Wings could give them trouble. They have not. Is it possible that the Aces were coasting to end the year? I asked you this last week.
Absolutely.
But they look like a completely different team now.
No, absolutely not. Versus the Sky, they just way better than the Sky. In this series, Enrique just been struggling so far, but this series isn't done. I'm telling you, it's not done. There are advantages the Wings have. It's just honestly, Asia's past 3 games have just been historic. If she even comes down to earth even a little bit, the Wings can get one. They were in Game 2. It's just Gray and Wilson, man, listen. Listen.
It looks like also if we check the recent news, it looks like the WNBA is going to expand to the Bay Area.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on adding another team? To me, doesn't that mean you have to add another? So if you're adding a Bay Area team, you have to add one more team. So I think expansion is great. This is a good time to get in and get ready for that next draft. If you ask me, this would be a perfect time because Caitlin Clark's going to be available. There's going to be a lot of good basketball players available in this upcoming draft. So just great news for the WNBA if they are actually expanding. Got anything else on the WNBA before tonight?
I think if they do add one in Golden State, Bay Area, I think they should like bring a team back to Miami because that is like a huge popular city. Like the LA has a team, Chicago has a team, New York has one. Mm-hmm. Well, Philly don't, but why not like bring a WNBA team back to Miami? They were there before.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I think Miami's a good spot. I think Philly would be a good spot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're not really that big of a city in terms of those cities, but Cleveland will show up and watch basketball. Like if we could get a team back in Cleveland, that'd be sick. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of options for an East Coast side team since they're doing a West Coast side team for sure.
How far is Indiana from Cleveland? Because they have a team.
Probably 2 hours at the most.
And they honestly, you saw their Stranger Things edition jerseys. Those might be like the best sports jerseys in history.
Yeah, those were awesome.
Yeah, those jerseys are amazing.
But that's enough about the WNBA. Obviously, we'll have more to talk about next week once the Aces have completed the sweep and the Liberty are out of the playoffs, and then we can talk Aces back-to-back champs. But let's jump ahead to the NFL, Kenzie. A lot going on. Let's just real quick talk about our picks. I am currently 8-4. You are 7-5. I'm clearly more knowledgeable about football than you are. What's one thing that you've really been impressed with this season in the NFL?
Probably. Oh man, Miami, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely Miami.
I'm gonna say I think the talent that the 49ers have accumulated recently is just, it seems like it's kind of unfair because
I
defense
think
is so damn good.
I think they turned the salary cap off because I don't how.
Yeah, I mean, it's just their defense is so good, and then their offense has so many weapons. They've got good linemen. I just think it's been, to me, Miami and the 49ers are the two best teams in the league right now. Nobody's been able to really test Miami except for the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
And even that was, they just put four guys deep and just try to keep it close that way. But yeah, would you say those are the two best teams in your opinion?
Yeah, obviously, like come playoff times, like pre-playoffs, I'm still going to say I think the Chiefs are going to win it, at least right now. But yeah, I think as terms of like who's just strictly this season, as like we disregard like everything that happened in the past, strictly this season, like if I just got into football, yeah, play the two best teams.
Okay, let's jump ahead to our picks for the week.
We're gonna do... what's one take you had in the preseason that is going bad right now that you still sticking with? With me, I still think Minnesota's winning the division. 0-3, yes, I know. Lions have 2 games up. I still got Minnesota, man. They're not
one
bad.
Pick that's not going well for me that I think is still going to happen. Nick Chubb is going to lead the league in rushing.
Yards per carry, baby.
Let's see. That's a good question. I'll go Jacksonville winning the South. I'm gonna stick with it. I picked them to win the South in the beginning. I gotta stick with it. Really, I don't like
that division's been better than I expected.
They are playing better than I expected. Also, I mean, they're 1 game out. The Colts are 2-1. Everybody else is 1-2. So, I mean, I don't think we've really lost anything yet.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I think one of my predictions that's just going bad is the Chargers. They suck.
What did you have them as again?
I think I picked them to win I think I picked them to win their conference. It was either them or the Chiefs.
That is crazy.
Yeah, and they are not good at football right now.
They were a Kirk Cousins Jerome decision away from being 0-3. I don't know why he tried to try to fit that stick route into like 2-3 defenders, but
I think that Vikings pick looks really bad right now. They're not a good defense.
I think okay. We can both agree there's absolutely no way that they're winning the division. The Packers, Jordan Love is only good when he's down like 10. And the Lions, I'm still not completely sold. I still think the Vikings could win that division.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I just don't. I do not like what I watch when I watch the Vikings. How they play. Let's get into our picks for this week. We obviously missed the Thursday night game, so we're going to throw in the London game. We're going to do Atlanta versus Jacksonville.
9:30. I got to set that alarm. I'm gonna have to watch it on Disney Plus because I do want to see how that's going to look.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to watch it just to see what it's like. I don't really understand it, but let's see what it's all about. Atlanta versus Jacksonville, 9:30 in London. Who you picking?
Jacksonville. I think if they fall to 1-3, they know they're going to be getting baked by the media, and Atlanta's kind of only good at home. So yeah, I'll be taking the Jags.
I'm also going to take the Jags because obviously I need them to win for my prediction. So I'm going to take the Jags to win also. Should be an interesting game. I would like to see Atlanta give Bijan more carries.
Mm-hmm.
And you could always throw your number 4 overall pick tight end the ball. Like, you are allowed to do that.
Don't. He's under every week. Keep doing you Falcons.
Under.
Nah. But on a serious note, what is it? I don't understand. Like, to draft him that high and to just legit not to use the guy. What are you doing?
It's a really
and,
bad pick.
And what makes it crazy is, like, it's not like, okay, no, they are a run heavy offense, but it's not like they're a super down the field passing team. You can't involve the tight end as the play action.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a very interesting strategy for having such a guy that they pick so high. Next game is our game at 1:00. We got Baltimore at Cleveland. We know who you're going to pick, and we know you're biased, so I'll be unbiased in my pick. I think the Browns can win this game. Watson might be out.
What?
Yeah, he's been not practicing all week. I think he still plays. I think I just think people are a little bit underestimating just how good the Browns defense is. It's historic is a crazy word to use 3 games in, but that's what some people are describing it as. The first downs that we've given up is crazy.
Yeah,
we've only given up 18 points.
Yeah, I think y'all only gave up 21 first downs. I was watching.
Here's the thing: if you don't let Lamar beat you with the feet, Baltimore is not very good right now offensively. They're just not. The Colts proved that last week. The Colts played solid defense on Lamar. Yeah, he scored the 2 rushing touchdowns, but at some point, Lamar's also going to beat you with his legs. He's just that good. But if you can minimize that and make somebody else beat you besides Mark Andrews, Baltimore's beatable. It's not the same Baltimore defense that they've had in the past. They're solid. They're not great. I think it's a winnable game for Cleveland in Cleveland. I'm going to give the Browns a slight edge.
They must be running like underground fight clubs. That injury list was crazy on both sides.
I don't understand. Like, teams like Baltimore and the Chargers every year just have absurd injuries.
They must be having like never back down MMA brawls after practice or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, does that not worry you though, as somebody who supports Lamar? Like, just the injuries every year.
I was kind of baking in the Odell missing a few games, but I didn't expect it this early. And then they're down to like their 3rd string running back already. I don't know what's going on over there.
So, I mean, obviously, the way to beat Lamar is just what I said: take away Andrews, slow down his run, and you can beat the Ravens. It's just a matter of playing clean football on offense and not giving their defense any easy turnovers.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a good game either way. So yeah, 1:00 Eastern. You got Baltimore. I've got the Browns. Should be a good one. Next game is your guys' game, the Sunday night game. Kansas City against New York. Clearly, this was scheduled way in advance. Did you say the line was 22.5?
I wish it was so I could take the Jets plus, but for some reason it's like 9. Like, please, NFL boost that to like 18. Like, we're not. This is not a 9-point game. This might get disgusting, especially if we just sit back in that soft zone. Like, the Chiefs receivers outside of Kelsey are totally unproven. Get a man, make it tough. If you just sit back in the zone, we're going to get carved up and embarrassed. The world is watching even more because Taylor Swift, the FanDuel's adding Kelsey specials because of Taylor Swift. Like, this, oh my God, man. Oh my God. Now, granted, I love Mahomes, but I don't want to see the Jets get embarrassed on Sunday Night Football alone.
Yeah. Question for you. Did you guys change defensive coordinators?
I think we
did. What changed from last year where you ran man to this year where you're running the zone all the time?
We still played zone last year, but not as much as we're doing this year. Now, I think like Salah and the DC, they're just stuck in their ways. Rush 4, play zone. Please, I'm begging you. I know he's good against the blitz, but the receivers, I'm not scared of Tony and MVS and Sky Moore. We have to go. If we just sit back in the zone, it's getting bad. And as for the other side of the football, their defense is actually good, and our offense is actually terrible. Man,
we've been telling you this for a long time. 1 second.
Yeah, man, it's like at halftime, the yards is probably going to be like 220 to like 60.
Yeah, I just don't see you guys having a lot of success, unfortunately. Final game, I don't know why they would schedule New York, the city of New York, to have two primetime games on the same weekend, but we've got Seattle at the Giants. Tell me why you're picking the Giants.
I'm absolutely not picking the Giants. I'm rocking with the Seahawks, especially because I don't think Saquon Barkley is playing. So yeah, might be a Jesus Christ. Yo, imagine the Liberty lose Sunday at 1:00. The Jets get blown at 8:00. The Giants lose money at 8:00. And then that's
the whole New York just the whole city of New York just falls off the map.
I just realized that. Jesus Christ.
It could be a very tough weekend for New York sports.
Oh my God.
So yeah, you've got Jacksonville, Baltimore, Kansas City, Seahawks. I've got Jacksonville, Browns, KC, Seahawks as our 4 picks this week. And then let's do what we started last week. I want your lock of the week.
Oh yeah, let me look at the schedule real quick. NFL week 4 schedule. Lock of the week.
All right, I'll give you mine. I'll give you mine first.
All right.
My lock of the week is the Denver Broncos over the Chicago Bears. Lock of the week.
My lock, Vikings over Panthers. Let's get on the board, y'all. It's pretty time. Lock of the week.
You're taking the Vikings over.
Yeah.
If they go in 4, you're really gonna be in trouble. But Carolina, I just don't think Carolina. They just don't.
Yeah, I don't even know if Bryce is playing, but either or, I'm still rocking.
But Andy Dalton looked good last week without Bryce or without them, so we'll see.
Yeah,
I think that's a solid block this week. To get the Vikings back to 1-3. Kinsey, got anything sports related for us before we get out of here today?
Wait, hold on. I was going to do my upset.
Oh yeah, upset of the week. Sorry, go ahead.
Upset. Oh wait. Before that, matter of fact, we'll do that after. But my upset: Titans over Bengals.
I did the same thing last week, and they got demolished.
Listen. I wasn't. If Sean McVay remembered that he can run the football in the red zone, the Bengals would have lost on Monday. And granted, Tannehill and Henry both have been playing down this year. I just, Mike Vrabel coach team, hard nose. I think they got this one upset.
That's weird because you said they were overrated when the Browns beat them, so it's kind of hard to.
I don't think that's exactly what I said. That might have been my partner in crime.
My upset of the week is going to be, yikes, New England over Dallas. Yeah,
I don't see it. I mean, it's possible. Josh Dobbs just baked them, but I don't think Dallas is going to lose back to back because then people will be like, "Oh, I knew they weren't serious." So I think
New England's defense is really good. I think Dallas is going to struggle to score on them. If Mac Jones can find a way to score a couple touchdowns, I think it gets very interesting. Arizona just lit them up. New England's better than Arizona,
and we have to talk about this game before we get out of here. Your man, Josh Allen, you better praise him before it goes downhill. Bills, Dolphins, how you see it going?
I think the Dolphins win, but
in Buffalo,
I wouldn't be surprised if the Bills won. Outside of week 1, Josh Allen's has been lights out. So, I mean, say what you want. He's still playing really well. And if he could just not have that stupid ass turnover when it's super unnecessary, they're going to win 12 games again if he doesn't do that. Yeah. I mean, they're that good. They're really good. You guys got really lucky and snuck that game away from them. I think Josh Allen's really good, but I think the Dolphins are going to win. Waddle's back. It being in Buffalo helps a little bit, but it's going to be nice from what the weather said. So that doesn't really, you just can't let the Dolphins get deep, and you can't let when Hill's running side to side, somebody's got to be on his hip. Is your fastest player has to be with him at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Who you got? Who you going to take? I mean, I've never seen anybody prey on Josh's downfall more than you. So if you pick the Bills, you're a fraud.
I can't lie. He has been scaring me. He's been on his hair outside of the Jets game, but I think the Dolphins are just clicking too much. And Skylar Thompson almost beat them up in the playoffs last year. So I think Miami's just better.
What does that have to do with it?
I mean, they had the mental edge. They're thinking, yo, if we almost won with our 67 overall quarterback, we could win with our MVP candidate.
That's fair. All right, one question for you before we get out of here. Can you tell me who has the 17th most passing yards in the league right now?
17th?
Yeah.
Lamar?
No, Lamar is 23rd.
Oh, 17th. Trevor Lawrence?
No, he's 11th. It's Deshaun Watson, number 4. No, have you looked at the passing yards list?
I haven't looked at many
pretty
stats
interesting
yet.
this year. Pretty interesting. Jalen Hurts is 20th. Joe Burrow's 24th. It's pretty kind of interesting, the names that are down on the bottom of the list.
I'm guessing it's Tua, Herbert. I don't know who. Tua, Herbert. No, not Allen. Allen had a bad game week 1. Tua,
Cousins,
Herbert.
Goff, Tua, Herbert, Stafford are the top 5.
Yeah.
That's before some other guys have got to play this week.
Yeah.
Though.
I don't know how I forgot Kirk. He's averaging like over 300, right?
Yeah, he throws the ball a lot. That they don't have a run game. That's another problem with the Vikings. They're going 0-4. They're going 0-4. I'm calling it before we leave.
They're not losing to the Fighting Bleachers. They're not losing that game.
Hey, we'll find out. All right, guys. That's been House of Agendas for today. Kinsey, we'll be back next week. Soon we're going to be starting getting into the NBA a little bit more. Like and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you guys viewing us, and we will see you guys next week.
Yep, and always remember, y'all, if they're a rebounder and rim protector, do not drive into them. We'll see y'all next week.
All right, guys. Enjoy. See ya.
Oh, man.